All right, everybody, welcome to another great episode of Wrestling with Reality. I am John, and joining me, as always, is my partner, the one and only Mr. Richie Reardon. What's going on, Richie?
Not much, man, on a bum leg, but I'm here and I'm ready, and we're going to be talking some great stuff tonight. We got a good topic, man. Greatest heels in wrestling history.
You might have a bum leg, but you didn't win the Olympics with a broken friggin' neck, okay?
Right. I'll never be Kurt Angle cool, man.
Fuck no, man. Well, I hope you feel better and you're on the mend soon.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, let's see what we got here tonight. All right, first here is Rabbi Shalom and Mazel Tov. Rabbi Moses, good to
We're
see
still
you.
trying to find out who this motherfucker is.
Joey's here. What's going on,
What's up,
Joey?
Joey? Hey,
Cheers.
Jeremy.
Happy birthday, Blackjack, Aussie. John and Rich, you need to do a drink of beer from the shoe in your honor. I will not be doing a drink of beer from the shoe, but I will wish Laza a big happy birthday tonight.
Cheers, buddy. Good day,
He's not
mate.
a day over 21, folks. Trust me.
Happy B-Day.
Happy birthday, my friend. We're glad to have you joining us tonight. Rewind's here. Hey, Rabbi, what is the seventh story in the Torah?
Oh, boy. Calling him out. Shots fired.
He's spitting some knowledge out tonight. Good day from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Great to see you, my friend. I'll take it you name after the 5 books of Moses. So which one is your favorite, Rabbi, and why?
Shots fired.
Left the Pacers Thunder game for this. Wow, that's
Right on,
impressive.
man. Appreciate that.
Man, that's
Beating out
impressive.
the NBA Finals, huh?
Who's winning that game? Last time I looked, I think the Pacers were up a little bit, but who's
I
winning?
haven't watched basketball in a long time, man.
Yeah, I watched the Mets game tonight, which I was super excited about. As always, it's always wonderful to hold on. Let's get this shit off here.
Love this Lex Luger song, man.
Love this the Lex
Just let
song.
it ride.
I prefer this one though.
Da-da-dun, da-da-dun-dun.
Oh, we gotta hear it just one time for you.
Wrestling God.
He is the wrestling god.
You used to open up for Vampiro, all kinds of different songs, man.
Oh God, JBL.
Classic WCW, and then you throw out the JBL.
What a guy JBL is. Maybe we'll be
Yeah.
talking about JBL tonight because tonight's main topic is the greatest heels in professional wrestling. Maybe JBL will be on somebody's list
He
tonight.
better be. He better be on somebody's. He definitely ain't on mine, but he better be on
How
somebody's.
could the wrestling god not be on yours?
I like him so much, I didn't see him as a heel, man.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't know if
I'm
I'm
just
buying
kidding.
that.
I don't know.
bullshit
I
excuse.
didn't think he was. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think he was one of the greatest, but we'll see.
I am
Are we doing a
39,
top
but
5 or top 10 or what the fuck are we even doing?
I think we can do top 5 tonight. So
Okay.
we can have some honorary mentions. You know, we'll bring you guys on at the end, and you can tell us a few years. You don't have to go in order or anything like that when we do it later. But I'd love to hear, some of you guys' ones. Abdullah the Butcher is a great heel. He sure was a great.
Rabbi, are you even allowed to like people named Abdullah?
I don't know. The Rabbi is a man of peace. Okay,
I hope so.
he's a man of peace, but he
It's
might be
either
an
John
Abdullah.
or it's Rewind.
How can it be me? Do you
The
really?
guy's
think you
too
can-
punctual. The guy's too punctual. It's either
Do it.
you or Rewind.
How can it be me when I'm controlling the stream?
I think you both are Rabbi.
What do I?
think
Am I
you switch
controlling the
off.
screen at the same time as Rabbi Moses here, typing
don't
in
know.
answers on YouTube?
We'll see.
And typing in. No, I can't. I'm not that gifted. Okay.
The tech savvy.
Yeah, I'm not that. Rabbi though, he's a man of the people by all means.
Okay.
We get an eclectic group of people.
We do.
Very dynamic. I really love the
Absolutely.
personalities.
Adversity at its finest.
See, look, it's not John.
Yep.
Thank you.
Put your hands
Appreciate
up when next time he messages, John.
Well, am I going to keep my hands up the entire night here tonight? All right. Am I going to keep my fucking hands up and give sparkle fingers just to prove it's not me? All right.
We'll both do it.
Seriously. We know it's not you because it definitely isn't you. I know that.
I'm not punctual when I talk, man.
The John we see on the screen could be an AI. Trust me. I'm too
Dude,
cheap
it's
to
getting
create
weird
an AI.
nowadays.
It could be done.
Fucking AI is weird, ain't it?
Yeah, nobody would want to have an AI John, okay?
Absolutely.
No, we don't need one of those. Abdullah don't give free food from his restaurant to the boys. Yeah, he did have the Abdullah the Butcher's Rib and Chicken Shack for many years, and
He had a restaurant?
Yeah, for many years he had a restaurant. So
Jesus Christ. Did they have AIDS on the menu too? Good Lord.
it had something. I'm not going there. John is the greatest heel because he hates Natty. Thank you. Appreciate
Okay.
that.
I mean, I don't get it, but all right.
Some people love Natty, I guess,
Yeah.
They love Natalia. But before we talk about the main topic, Let's talk about a little modern. That last week was Money in the Bank. Did you watch Money in the Bank?
I did.
What did you think?
I thought the production level was spot on. I love the
Okay.
graphics that they were using with the little thief guy. I thought that was badass. The set was cool. It's one of the coolest sets I've seen in a while. And yeah, the show was awesome, man. I haven't been really excited about too much, but I thought that they did pretty well, especially with the men's Money in the Bank match. They had some pretty cool spots in it this year. So, and then of course having Pentagon Jr. in there, I was really pumped for it. I knew he wasn't going to win. I really thought Chad Gable was going to pull it off, or Americano, but I would have put it on him, to be honest with you, or Dominic, but it didn't happen.
Man, El Grande Americano was just one step away from getting that Money in the Bank briefcase.
I called it, dude. I told you last week Seth Rollins was going to win it.
He was the obvious choice. It would have been nice to see him pull a little bit of a swerve. We had no Roman Reigns come back or anything like that, so no Roman Reigns appearances at all yet. So they're kind of holding that back for a little bit, it seems. They're going to save that up. Yeah. I got to give credit where credit's due in the men's match. You know who was kind of funny in it for once to me was that no talent ass clown Solo Sikoa. I thought he was kind of funny for once.
He was. There were some spots in there that he made me laugh, and he showed some personality. Hopefully he keeps that shit up, man. And Jacob Fott too, dude.
God,
what a fucking killer that guy is. Like, if I saw him in a back alleyway, I'm going the other fucking way, dude.
He's totally going to be a world champ in the next year. So,
I don't know. I hope he is. I hope they don't drop the fucking ball with him because they've done it with other people. So they've got something special there. They haven't really fine-tuned it yet, but we'll see. I hope they do make him a champion.
Yeah, and then, so no real shocker Seth got it. I think he was, of course, the logical choice. You know who was the kind of shocker that was in this match to me? I didn't think he was still employed by the company. Was Andrade. I don't really know why Andrade.
Did you hear when he came out in his entrance? They're like, the one that's not being spoken about is Andrade. Yeah. And it was like, well, this fucking guy ain't winning.
This ain't happening whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Him broke up, man. He's lost his momentum. So
I mean, he looked good in the match. He performed great in the match.
Took some good bumps too.
Yeah. What about that spot that El Grande had with the ladder at the end of the match?
Yeah.
Like where he propelled off the ladder, then climbed it back up, and some of the moves that went on. It was a great match for the men.
That Mexican Destroyer was nuts too, dude.
Yeah. They put their bodies on the line on that. Penta, man, you can't say enough about Penta, how good he looked in that match too.
Now he better be a champion at some point, or I'm gonna be real upset.
I think it's coming too, bro. He's so freaking over with the crowd right now.
They see so much in him too. You can tell the production level and his entrance and stuff like that. They invest a lot in him. So
he's so marketable, man, for them.
He is,
especially with that.
I've probably got about 12 or 13 of his T-shirts. I mean, they're so damn cool.
I think he's going to be making money hand over fist for the next 5 to 7 years at the very least over at WWE. I mean, I know he's in like his mid-30s now, but if this guy can stay fairly healthy, he's going to have one hell of a run over there. I definitely could foresee them doing something with him as a world champion for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the crowd is behind him.
I hope they don't put him over in AAA and stuff like that. I want to see him at the front run of WWE, top spot. He deserves to be a main event player. I don't want to see him do tag teams with Rey Fenix. We've seen that 100 fucking times. Let's have the guy have a main event run like he deserves.
Yeah, I think it's coming, bro. I really do. I think it's coming for him. We'll talk about AAA in a few minutes. I want to talk about AAA actually a little bit because of the Worlds Collide event that I got an opportunity to watch. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Chad Gable, man, I just can't say enough good things about this guy between Worlds Collide and this match. Chad Gable's one of the top guys in the world as a wrestler to me right now, who's not getting talked about enough. His personality is hilarious as a heel character, and the sky's the limit if they push this guy, man. I mean, he's just all upside to me.
As far as his athleticism, dude, he's the second coming of Kurt Angle. Like he's that good. And dude, like you said, his personality is funny as shit. I love Chad Gable. And when he was Shorty G, I thought he was on his way out. I literally thought WWE was.
And he survived and is doing what he's doing right now.
And he survived, and he's doing what he's doing right now. And man, I wish him nothing but the best. This Americano gimmick's the best run that he's ever done.
It's fantastic, Derek. We're going to talk about Mr. Iguana in a little bit, so hold tight on him.
That fucking goof.
God, hold tight on it. We'll talk about that in a second. So we'll get to that when we discuss Worlds Collide. Goldberg becomes world champ soon.
Rabbi, get out. Go. You're banned.
Goldberg might be getting a shot soon because the word is he's
Fuck.
coming back this week, but we'll
I
talk
hope
about that
not.
too in just a few minutes. The women's match had Naomi pull off the victory, which I think was probably a pretty good logical choice for them, considering she's lost a lot of the big marquee matches. They've really put a lot into her heel character. I'm not saying I'm a big fan of at all of it, but they're kind of running with something different here. So I can see where they're going with this maybe a little bit. I don't know. I would have taken Steph Vacker a lot more for me.
No, it's Valquay, according to Nikki Bella.
Oh yeah, Valquay. I saw that on Monday Night Raw.
What the fuck was that botch, bro?
Yeah, well, hey, she's one of the Bella twins. Okay,
I guess she can get away with it, right?
One of the living legends that is the Bellas.
Yeah,
I would have probably gone with Steph Valquay. But they ended up going with Naomi, which I can see a little bit. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was solid. Overall as a match, it was fun. And
I would have went with somebody new. If they weren't going to put it on Alexa Bliss, give it to one of the new ones. Rodriguez or Valquay would have been, fine with me. I thought that they should have went with somebody new. It would have been a good chance to freshen up the women's division and not put a match out there that we've seen a million times.
Has Naomi ever won the Money in the Bank before?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
she hasn't won the Money in the Bank, but she's won at WrestleMania.
Champ.
She's been champ at Mania. I think somebody cashed in the Money in the Bank on her.
Okay, I know she was a world champ, so I know that for sure. So she has had it before.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, I can understand them running with something a little different, not going down the conventional route, but they have a lot of talented performers in the women's division. So I think either way, they're going to be fine through the next few years. They got a lot of up and comers that are coming up. That a couple of the people down in NXT, that Sol Ruca, and she's phenomenal. Have you seen her?
I have. I don't pay attention much to the NXT stuff, but I have seen her. Yep.
Jeremy sent me her. I've seen her finisher before, but Jeremy sent me one of them today. Dude, her fucking finisher is off the chain, bro.
Pretty cool, huh?
Oh my God. I'll send you the clip that Jeremy sent me earlier of her doing it off the top rope. I don't even know how she does the damn thing. It's pretty remarkable, man. Like, to really see what she can do in the ring there, just the athleticism of her. They got some great performers in their women's division. Very, very strong time in WWE in regards to that.
So strong, they're getting another PLE.
Yeah. Evolution 2 is coming out next month or something, right?
That shocked the shit out of me that they announced that. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, and then in the main event, Lola Vice is pretty hot too, Lawrence. I'm a fan of Lola Vice. I think she's got a good good marketing tool. Yeah, marketability to her. She was great with Steph Valquay. Valquay at that Worlds Collide pay-per-view. They were great as a tag team together. I thought they were phenomenal. And I was a fan of Lola Vice after watching that. But once again, we'll talk about the AAA stuff in a few minutes. But the main event, they had that shitty tag match, put together with Logan Paul and Cena versus Rhodes and Uso.
Did you think it was shitty?
It was okay to me. I just didn't care about the match. That's why I say
this was one of Logan Paul's better performances in a match.
The reason I said to me it was kind of shitty is because I really didn't care about it. It was kind of stupid to me. The only good thing came out of it was R-Truth coming back, and boy,
absolutely, that was my favorite part. And then the Logan Paul, the spot where he did the backflip off the ropes into the table or whatever, that was a great spot. But Logan Paul, man, he's going to be a great heel. I mean, and we're talking about that category tonight. Logan Paul, he's got a run in the future of being something special in the heel department. I don't like the Paul brothers, never have, never will, especially for the stuff they did out here in Arizona, with a lot of the stuff it's ironically going on now. I don't like the Paul brothers for that reason. I have a personal reason against it, but he's coming along, man, and he's doing really well for a guy that, I would say out of all the celebrities that have come in and out of WWE, I gotta say he's probably performed the best at all of them.
I agree. I don't disagree at all with you on it. I've said it from the start. I think he could be a world champion, and he's just he's awesome as a heel. I just wasn't into this match. I could have given a shit less. I could have given a shit less about Jey Uso as a champion. I mean, I tried to give it a little bit of a shot.
It was transitional. We knew that.
We knew it. I didn't think he was 51 days transitional.
I was thinking Gunther needed a break, and that's why they did it.
Yeah, and that goes to the next point is Gunther gets the title back on Monday and chokes him out.
I was happier than a pig in shit, dude. I'll tell you what.
I was too, man. It just wasn't for me, you know.
Yeah.
Just wasn't for me with him as the champ. And, you know, I get it why they did it. You know, I get it. It was something a little different, but I never saw him as a marketable champion in any capacity. It just didn't matter to me. And
not only that, Gunther's a top guy. He can put the whole company on his back. He deserves this monster title run, monster push that he's going to get in the future. He's the guy as far as I'm concerned. Gunther is why I tune in right now. So
love Gunther, and I think he's fantastic all the way. And I'm glad to see him get the belt back. And I didn't think Jay would have it that little, to be honest with you. I thought they'd maybe at least let him keep it till SummerSlam, but they were pretty happy, I think, to get the belt off of him and get it back on Gunther and see where it goes.
Well, and the problem with the Uso brothers is, you know, they've been in, let's be honest, dude, they've been in trouble with the law a lot, you know, and stuff. And you never know how long you can trust them for or what kind of run they're going to have as far as staying clean and shit like that. So I don't know, dude. I'm kind of glad they got it off the Usos.
Rewind says the rumor is that Jay's hurt or he's taking a break. Could be potentially that. You know, you never do.
I heard he was hurt too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a grueling schedule. You know, Jay's a great competitor though. It's not taking anything away from him. It's just as a world champ, just wasn't doing it for me. And I think it was a smart choice to kind of take it off of him. Looks like Goldberg's coming back to finally get his last match, and I guarantee it's going to be against Gunther.
You really think they're going to do a program with Gunther?
Yes. Yeah. It's going to be his last match.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Nobody is. It'll be a Saudi Arabia special, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, that's kind of what it'll probably be, like a Saudi Arabia special. Or they had some show in Atlanta, I think, coming up in the summer at some point.
That could be it too. I was hoping Goldberg and Braun Breaker were going to go at it myself, but
God, that would be a massacre, bro.
It'd be a massacre. But you know, one thing I was shocked about was that they announced that CM Punk's actually going to Saudi Arabia. That's something he said he was never going to do because it was blood money and stuff like that. But I guess that blood money's too rich for his blood now, ain't it?
I guess when they're throwing a couple million at you to probably get you to come over and do the damn thing, that blood money's quite nice, right?
Yeah, it tastes pretty good, I bet, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's why I laugh when all those people would say that shit during that period. Blood money, move. Fuck you, man. When if you're throwing millions,
that was like our highest viewed show for a while that you did there when you when you reported on that. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, like seriously, like get over your fucking self. If somebody's throwing millions of dollars at you, you're gonna go there.
You're gonna go,
and you're gonna respect their traditions when you go there. And it's just gonna be that. We've done it for way cheaper, right?
Right, absolutely. So,
it's gonna happen. I'm sure. You know, I would probably imagine it'd be the Saudi pay-per-view. Maybe they do something in the States. You know, maybe it's a Saturday Night's Main Event or something that they do it with him and
with
Gunther. Goldberg. With Goldberg and Gunther.
You think they're not going to put him on a PLE for his retirement match?
No, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, I think probably the logical choice would be Saudi Arabia if it comes up, which they consider it a PLE. But I think probably, to me, it's going to be the Saturday Night's Main Event that they do. And I think it's taking place in Atlanta, the Saturday Night's Main Event, so it would make sense. If
make sense to retire in Atlanta.
Yeah. If that's the one, Jeremy, you tell me if I'm wrong, because I know that's your neck of the woods, and I know you're always up to date with what's going on in Atlanta. I think it's the Saturday Night's Main Event or something in August that's coming, or July. And to me, if that's what the one, that's probably where most likely what they're going to give Goldberg.
Sure.
Which I think that's a fitting one for him, bro. Like, people can hate on Goldberg whatever they want, you know, but he made a heck of a mark in this business too.
Yeah,
and that's some special moments. So
absolutely. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a retirement match. I'm just worried. You know, I was thinking if they did Braun Breaker, it would be a quick match and they could do a squash match real quick, get it over with. But the fact that they're doing it against Gunther, I don't know how they're going to pull that off. I mean, Gunther's got a physical style and everything like that. I just don't want Goldberg to drop him on his fucking head. So,
yeah, and end his career.
Yeah, and end his career before we even get something going.
CM talks a lot of shit about Saudi Arabia. Sometimes people who talk shit about Saudi Arabia never come back.
That's right.
Rabbi Moses said the same thing. CM Punk to be arrested once he gets to Saudi. Could be. Who knows?
Rewind Moses thinks that, huh? I mean, Rabbi Moses thinks that.
July 12th in Atlanta for Saturday Night's Main Event. So, yeah, probably that's going to be his retirement match, I would bet.
For sure.
Yeah. Great American Bash and Evolution.
Yeah, I was thinking they were going to do that, American Bash, but
I think that's an NXT pay-per-view though, or PLE style, whatever you want to call it for them. Yeah, I think Great American Bash is NXT.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a hell of a lineup you guys got that weekend. Saturday night's main event, Great American Bash, and Evolution all in the same weekend in Atlanta. Boy, they're not oversaturating that market a little bit, huh?
Well, with how big they're in debt, which I'm blown away because they're getting record profits. I can't understand how they are that
when you take in that much of an investment into a business, you're going to accrue lots of debt for a long period of time. Sure. It's natural,
Absolutely.
They knew, like I meant to touch on that last week when we were talking about it, but it was 3.07 billion, I think, is what they're saying that they're in deficits right now. Now, that's a crazy number, of course, but that's natural when you have that much of a business merger that they've had in their market through the years.
Sure.
So because they've now had TKO now has the UFC, it has the WWE, and it also has the PBA, the bowling people, right? Or the bull riding, excuse me.
Bull riding, PBR, yeah.
Which there's a big market for that, surprisingly, that people don't realize too. It's a huge market for them. Yeah.
Have you ever been to a PBR event?
Yeah, I have been to a few of them actually. We used to get them in Oklahoma all the time. When in the summertime, they were in their early fall, I believe. They would have every year they would come in. It was like a week-long thing that they would do.
That's badass, dude.
Yeah, it was cool.
PBR is fun. I've been to a few of them. I know the USO paid for us to go one time, and it was cool. Yeah. We did a recruiting tent there and stuff, and I got to experience it. So it's a good time. If you've never been to a PBR event, check it out. It's really cool.
It's kind of like a rock show now, the way they do it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've accrued all of those companies over the last 5 to 7 years, whatever it might be. That's a lot of debt that they're going to take on, that they're going to take in. Now they know that going into it, that they're going to accrue that amount of debt.
And people that say they are in debt and stuff like that, and they're freaking out saying that WWE is going to go out of business and all this shit. You're not. You're nuts. They're too big to fail.
Tony Khan's been dumping money for God knows how long into that company, and it's the same strategy for him. He'll be profitable. He'll be profitable in a short period of time, I bet you too, if he's not already right now, because that's what you have to do in the beginning.
Are you talking Nick Khan or Tony Khan?
Tony Khan.
Tony Khan. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not profitable right now, I think he'll be profitable in a year or two, no matter.
Are you talking AEW?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think they will be. I think they might be right now, or they're fairly close to it. I don't, they're not a publicly traded company, so you're not going to get privy to that information. So you're only guessing on what he tells people or what people report.
Sure.
And who knows what's true and what's not. But I bet you he's profitable in a short period of time. He put in, what AEW has been over 5 years now that they've been going for. Yeah. And that was their initial loss periods for probably the first 5 to 7 years.
Said they weren't going to last 2 years. So
yeah. In 5 years, they've made it. So God bless them, at least for that. I don't watch it, but
I don't either, and I never will. So once Sting left, man, that was the last episode that I watched. So
yeah, Crazy Moses and Jeremy are both from the ATL Small World, I guess. The questions on who is Rabbi Moses.
Yep, we got to know.
Bash and Saturday Night Main Event is the same day, 3 p.m. and 8. Evolution at the Sunday State Farm Arena is going to get a nice cash haul. Might as well get a weekend like this since we won't get a WrestleMania again. Yeah, they're just a little bit money hungry, I think, by skipping over New Orleans this year.
They finally announced it, made it official, and I thought it was a pretty cool cameo that Triple H did on top of the stadium and stuff like that. It was a nice.
Where are they going? They're
going to Vegas again.
Oh, they're going back to Vegas. Okay,
they're going back to Vegas, and how could you not? They did a record-breaking year and stuff. I mean, they need money right now to get them in the green. From a business standpoint, I understand it. Is it fair? No. I thought New Orleans is always a cool show and a cool set that they do for them when they go out there. But unfortunately, money talks and bullshit walks, and Las Vegas has a lot of money to pump in there. So they got it. So
the Superdome is badass as hell.
It is. Absolutely.
So what did you think of R-Truth and his transformation, him coming back, and shaving his dreadlocks off and going with the Ron Killings stuff from TNA?
What a powerful fucking segment that was. First of all, when he came out, you could feel the emotion off him when he says, "Don't let anybody doubt you or not. Don't bet on, don't let yourself ever not bet on yourself," is how he put it. But man, I'll tell you what, I'm rooting for Ron Killings. I hope he gets a serious run, possibly a title run. I doubt he'll get one, but I think he deserves one at this point for how long he's been in and how much of a team player he has been. you can put him in any position of the card, like I said last week, and I was really disappointed when they let him go. And unfortunately, they disrespected him in a way that, I heard that the way they released him was a nobody basically contacted him and told him they didn't need him anymore. So, and that they weren't going to meet his negotiation. So to hear that Nick Khan stepped in with talent relations and got involved in it and made the deal, I'm glad they did it, man. It was the right thing to do.
What are you looking forward to most about, the next evolution of R-Truth and Deron Killings? What are you looking forward to the most about this change in his character?
I hope they handle it the right way. I hope he gets treated well. I hope that he gets put in some sort of main event or maybe an Intercontinental title run, something. They give the guy something, feature him prominently on his way out. Like I said, R-Truth has been a model WWE superstar. He hasn't been in any trouble. No doping violations, nothing like that for a very long time. And, I think he deserves his career to be featured prominently in the end here. I mean, R-Truth is somebody that we all are beloved of. And, apparently he made an impact, man. Look at the impact that he made. Everybody got involved. Everybody was on social media talking about it. They were pissed off and we got him brought back.
So what was it? Was it WWE playing people and him playing people?
No, it wasn't work.
Yeah, I
don't. It was his son and his family, and even he's come out, and there's a lot of people close to him that said if it was ever a mention of him departing the WWE, he would not take part in a storyline or a joke like that. So.
Well, they listened to the fans and made the right choice by bringing him back. I'll tell you what, I think
they on R-Truth for knowing his fucking worth, dude. You know, like seriously, he called their bluff and said, "Fuck, I know what I'm worth, and I'm not going to take a penny less." And he didn't. He stuck to
3 Live crew, going back to the old days, right?
Dude, Road Dogg and him, it'd be funny.
Yeah,
Conan's there now too. Did you see his old fucking turtle ass?
We'll talk about him in a minute. All right, when we get to Worldwide. We'll talk about him in a minute because I want to talk about that commentary.
Jesus,
I want to talk about that commentary for sure. I'll tell you what I think they do with R-Truth is I think they actually might please the fans a little bit and maybe potentially give R-Truth a title win at SummerSlam against Cena. But then what's going to happen afterwards is Seth Rollins is going to cash in on his ass and take away.
Yep.
Be
shorter in Kofi Mania.
But hey, he would have at least got to say he was a former world champion, bro.
And that's okay with me. Like we said, I think we said this a month ago. Just give him a run, even if it's for an hour,
If it's for a minute, it'll be worth it to the fans, know?
Yep,
you want to make Seth Rollins a huge fucking heel, like really bad.
Steal that moment from us.
Just take it, man. The crowd is going to be thinking they're getting sent home happy at the end of WrestleMania.
It'd be like a Disneyland moment.
Yeah. The fucking fairy tale came true. 53-year-old Ron
Seth Rollins come out and stomp his head in the fucking dirt.
He just comes up right behind him and fucking curb stomps him and takes him out.
Yep.
Then Seth, you don't have to do this tweener shit that they do with Seth all the time. Make this guy they'll fucking hate him.
Yeah.
When we talk about heels, they'll fucking hate him with a passion.
Absolutely.
It's the way to do it, man. Like
I already do hate him, but it'll piss me off enough to where I'll
does he agitate you as a character with this faction as much as it does me? Because I just find it obnoxious. I don't like it.
Braun Breaker should be a spectacle all on his own. He didn't need anybody to make him. He was already made.
Yep.
So I don't know why they haven't featured him. I get why the other fucking goof is in there, but as far as Seth Rollins, I don't know why they're trying to do this again for the 5th fucking time. I don't understand it. They've jammed him down our throats. They've tried to make him the next Triple H. He never will be Triple H. Nobody's ever going to fucking want to see Seth Rollins. And they proved that with the WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes and when The Rock got involved. They made him the biggest fucking joke with the World Heavyweight title on that stage when nobody was even fucking mentioning him. Do you remember that? For the press conference? What was that, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
He looked like a joke. And, that's his spot. And then they're trying to prominently feature him now. And it's like, do you not remember what y'all fucking did to him on stage? I'll never buy him as a top guy again. He's a jabroni.
They try to portray him, as such to people, but they should have kept him out longer too.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to make absence makes the heart grow fonder often with people.
Listen, I'm not saying Seth Rollins isn't a good performer. I'm just tired of him being jammed down our throat.
Yeah. I'd like to see CM Punk get a run with it again too eventually, but I don't even know if that'll ever happen, to be honest with you.
I don't think Punk wants to do that. Yeah. I think he's trying to play the whole humble fucking, I think he's doing the whole humble gimmick. I don't need the title, man. Like the Roddy Piper style,
Yeah, you saw that interview with him did you see that interview with him the other day when they were talking about that, where he doesn't need the belt? I think that was from Raw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, some Raw.
He's obviously going to lose to Cena.
Yeah, 100%. He's gonna put over Cena on the way out.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some interesting things they can do. SummerSlam, though, to me is not shaping up to be anything I'm really truly interested in right now.
I gotta tell you, man, that promo that he cut on Cena was pretty fucking amazing. I gotta become the monster that you've become because that belt corrupts you and stuff like that. Like I felt that promo, dude. That was dope. It tied everything together with what they did before, and I thought it was really well done.
Okay. So you think that Cena's going to beat him, though, and hold on to it?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Cena is not losing the title. I think he goes home with it. I really do.
What if he lost it to Punk, and then what's his name, Rollins, comes out and cashes in on him then too, and costs him again more of that, right?
You think that's what's going to happen?
I don't think so, because it's at Saudi, so I don't think they're going to give that big Money in the Bank moment at Saudi.
No, I think they save that for Mania.
They're gonna. Well, he's not going to get. You think Rollins waited out a year on him?
I do.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think they're going to do slow burn with Rollins this time.
Okay, that could be interesting.
This is the third time he's fucking second time he's had, third time, second time.
I think this is at least his second, maybe his third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a slow burn this time.
Have you liked this run with Cena so far? I know we talk about this often.
Yeah. Cena's one of my favorite acts right now. I think it's great that he's been. I love the story they're telling where the belts corrupted him. It's like it did with Stone Cold Steve Austin, the greatest face of all time, and then it corrupted Austin. The WWE Championship is just so powerful it corrupts your soul.
Does he go out at the end as a hero or as a heel? That question froze Richie up there for a second. Richie, if you hear this, come back in. What did you guys think of this Seth Rollins stuff that's going on? Are you guys a fan of Seth Rollins? Not a fan of Seth Rollins? Where you guys lean on this? I want to hear everybody's thoughts on it. What about R-Truth? Where are you guys leaning on with him? You want to give him the belt? Give him a quick run with it? See him hold on to it? You want to see him beat Cena? Interested to hear you guys' thoughts on this because everybody's kind of got a different opinion on this. I don't know. With Seth Rollins, I just can't get into him as a character, guys. I just don't know what it is where I just really cannot get into this guy as a character. I don't find him interesting. I don't find him fun that much. And it's just not really doing it for me ever with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has never been somebody that I bought. Good worker in the ring, just never somebody I bought as going to be the guy that I want to see every single week as a world champion. Just not for me. Joey says, I like it. I like Seth. Seth is a workhorse. All right. Fair enough. Haven't been a Seth Rollins fan. He's a clown from Rabbi Moses. Loran says, love the facial expression Richie has frozen on. Ron Killings needs to win the Royal Rumble. Do you think they could really get all the way out to the Royal Rumble, Jeremy, with this Ron Killings stuff? Or do you think that it's going to fizzle out a little bit quicker? Royal Rumble is a pretty far away a ways. So I don't know if they're going to get that out of him. Richie just sent me a message. Guys, he's going to be back in a minute. His internet just cut out, so he'll be back in a minute. I don't know. I don't think they can get out that far, Jeremy, with the Royal Rumble. I think there's other more important people that we could kind of see into that than Ron Killings maybe winning the Royal Rumble. All right, Richie's back.
Sorry about that, man. I had some technical difficulties.
Oh, no worries at all.
Anyways, I was saying, yeah, I love the stuff that's going on with Cena right now, man. It's one of my favorite acts, so.
It's going to be interesting to see where they end up going with it at the end of the year. I like where they do every week where when he comes on, he always puts the appearances on and how many less he's going to have each time. So let's see. Rewind says,
I would have used the song that he was talking about. There was an interview he did where they made a specific song for his heel run, and I wish they would have used it. It was something completely different than what he comes out to. He was going to come completely different attire and stuff like that, like a corporate, suit attire instead of the outfits that he wears and stuff like that, but his outfits are too marketable. That's why they kept him that way. So
I don't know. People are kind of split too on their feelings on Seth Rollins. Some don't like him at all. Some think that he's a good character and a good workhorse. Could have worked an injury with Truth and return at the Rumble. Okay, maybe. might be
You can
able to do
definitely
that.
see that Cena has slowed down in his performances a lot. Like, dude, I'm telling you, he gets winded real easy. And I'm not saying I'm in the best shape or I could outdo him or anything like that. So don't take it that way. I'm just saying from when, obviously he's getting older and Father Time waits for nobody. And so his performances, like when you see him be put in the crossroads, it looks really sloppy. Like he has a hard time taking it. So it's rough, man. It's rough to see somebody like that.
It is weird to see, like, he does kind of look like an
He's
old
stiff.
man, going to what Joey
Yeah.
says when you see him out there. When you see him coming out in the typical like Cena jorts and the pump shoes or whatever the fuck that he's wearing out there, that same shit that he's worn since he was in his like late 20s, early 30s,
Yeah.
whatever. It just doesn't play off anymore because he's a 48-year-old man or whatever, 49-year-old man, whatever the hell he is.
Has he ever confirmed if he's done steroids or not? Because he definitely
No.
looks. He's never done them.
I don't think so, but who knows? I mean, he's a strong son of a bitch too, man.
Yeah.
Like, you ever seen his workout videos?
I have, and
Dude is a beast, man. So, I mean, I'm not saying I've never heard him admit that he's done any type of steroids or anything. Yeah. I could see it maybe, but he looks like a guy that's just really
looks deflated.
What's that?
His body just looks deflated to me, like something.
I think he's probably off the same, regiment that he was doing for all those years when he was on the road. I mean, he's in Hollywood now, so they're looking at different things for him. So, he's just getting older a little bit now. I mean,
Rabbi still hasn't seen Cena.
What's that?
Rabbi still has not seen Cena.
Yeah, he's out there. He's out there, Rabbi. Only the cool ones.
He's right here.
Yeah, we can see him, like little Jimmy. Same thing. Cena's skin pigmentation looks like Sheamus. He's not that bad, Jeremy.
I was gonna say that's not that bad. And Sheamus looks rough too.
He is the human jar of mayonnaise for a reason.
Yeah.
He said he never was an animal in high school. All right. I wonder. You think he's done roids?
I'm just saying, his body, the way it looks now on his way out, looks like somebody who has taken them before and no longer takes them. So I don't know. I don't want to, put it out there. I'm just saying this is for entertainment purposes and stuff like that. I'm not saying one way or the other. So don't put me on blast if he hasn't. But, I don't know, man. He could or he couldn't. But, in an industry that needs that most of the time, it's kind of hard to believe that he hasn't. So.
All right. Well, Rasp actually brings up a good point here. He says, I think John Cena is born to be a character now due to being an actor. So his wrestling isn't his main focus. I think he's more like Hogan these days, focusing on ring psychology. Yeah, good. Very good
That's
point.
why they drew the conclusion that they did with Bray Wyatt when he did that program, the NWO stuff. He literally is Hogan now. You're right.
Go watch his interview with Stephanie McMahon. He admitted he's retiring. He can't grind in the gym like he used to. Yeah, I did see that part of it, Jeremy. Good point, too. Cena was 100% on the juice. That dude was juiced to the gills.
I tend to agree because of how he looks and the shape of his head and everything like that. But,
he does kind of have that earnest Jim Varney vibes, Lawrence. Yeah, that's a good. You guys are picking up on some good stuff tonight. So. Yeah. If you see Cena, is his body looking like a melted candle?
He looks deflated, bro. He does.
Yeah.
That's what Scott Steiner looked like when he quit taking roids too. His body turned like that as well, and you could see the similarities in both of them.
Scott Steiner's most definitely done steroids.
Triple H is definitely looking the same. That's the same look that you can draw a comparison to. Scott Steiner, Triple H, and Cena. They all look the same, and they all have that same thing in common. So.
Now, last main news topic of the week is I watched the Worlds Collide event today. I watched it a few days afterwards. So had a little bit of free time today to watch it. So I watched it. Man, what a fucking show that was, bro.
I was really worried how WWE was going to handle the acquisition of AAA. I now am not worried about it.
No.
They are going to take it to new heights that it's never even dreamed of. So I'm very happy with their first showing, and I hope they continue it, and I hope they invest a lot more into it.
This is a show that I could watch every week if they could do it very similar. I know this is a like a premium event that they're doing here, so it was NXT involved in it. If they could. I've always said this. I'd always wanted to get into lucha wrestling because I've always loved it.
It's great.
I've always loved
WCW Nitro.
I mean, how could you beat those competitors? That we saw, and I've always wanted to see it, but I've never had the access to being able to watch it that much. So
Sure.
I'm kind of excited. I don't know where they're going with it. If it's going to be on YouTube, if it's going to be on Peacock, if it's going to be on Netflix. I don't know what they're going to do with AAA. I don't think they've announced anything yet, but the production was fantastic on this.
Great.
They picked great competitors to showcase in this from the NXT side and from the AAA side. Corey Graves on commentary was absolutely fantastic to me.
Yep.
I thought he
and
was
normally
great.
I don't like him.
No, I'm the same way. He was
did
great.
Yeah. I was hoping that Mike Tenay would be brought in for it.
Yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with wrestling anymore, though.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. He doesn't want anything to do with it. It seems. Now, I was not a fan of Conan's commentary at all. I'm not saying I was. He's
Put your ass to sleep, man.
He's like this surly uncle, you know, like kind of like the surly drunk uncle. It seems that just gets he pops up at certain points. But I will say this: I did kind of like the dynamic that him and Graves had a little bit together, and I think there was points of Conan's commentary when he was being more natural, just doing what he does and be who he is. And I thought he was really good at that point. And I did like that he brought was he was the knowledge expert that brought all the information on the backstory of all the characters.
He's been around the block for so long.
Yeah, he's been around there forever.
He's been involved in all the negotiations of all these, stars coming over in the lucha world and stuff like that.
He's arguably the most popular, Mexican wrestler. I know he's Cuban, but in the Mexican area.
And Vampiro. I mean, they are the one and
Vampiro, Mil Mascaras. I mean, I know there's been plenty more, but
Blue Demon.
Yeah, they're obviously. Honestly, Conan's probably the most over one of all time down there. Would you say?
For sure, absolutely. Got to give him his respect where it's due. I don't like 1000%. The guy personally, but
So he brought a lot to the table, I thought, with the knowledge of it, and I learned a lot about a lot of the characters because of his great commentary on that capacity. I just think he just has to maybe get a little bit more comfortable, and I think he might be a little bit more entertaining on there. I think, because he was kind of like I said, like he would certain points he was kind of like he was trying to he was trying to be a little bit to me on this. He was trying to be Jesse the Body Ventura a little bit.
Absolutely.
But he's not, and he's very charismatic in his own way, but not in that way to me.
Right.
Leave the Jesse the Body Ventura to be Jesse the Body Ventura. You know, I don't know if that's how his commentary has been in AAA when he's done it in the past. I don't know. I don't know that because I don't watch it and I don't speak Spanish, fluently. So I don't know if that's how he does it, but to me, he was coming across trying to be like Jesse the Body a little bit, and he doesn't need to be. He should be what the Professor Mike Tenay was, the knowledge level, the expert, the one that's giving him all the real story of these guys, because nobody knows it better than him.
Well, he should be that, and he should also be the character that he was in wrestling. Throw that in there. I mean, much like Taz. Taz did the same thing when he was on commentary. He would have the knowledge of it, and then he would use his little bits and pieces of where he was Taz the tough guy. Conan could do the same thing, and it would make it interesting. So, I think Conan should do Taz's style a little bit more than Jesse the Body for sure.
I liked Conan on commentary. I felt like he gave a lot of insight into the history of AAA and Lucha Libre. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Ice Nation showed up backstage, and I don't think they did on that one.
Come on.
Yeah,
let's leave that shit out here.
I don't think they did on that one. And kudos to them for putting it on in LA with all the shit that was going on in LA.
Okay, Rabbi is definitely not Rewind. We can just draw the conclusion now.
Rewind wouldn't sell himself out like that.
Rewind.
No, he wouldn't sell himself out. No. Vampiro's Canadian. He's next to Conan, is popular in Mexico, so you don't have to be a Mexican when it comes to popularity and talent, which is great. The Mexican fans get behind those they respect, like they do in Japan. Yep.
I would love Vampiro. I love Vampiro's commentary. How cool would it be to have Conan and Vampiro be the commentators?
Could you see it ever happening?
I think it would be fucking money, dude. I really do. I
don't think he's ever performed Vampiro.
Put Matt Stryker, Vampiro, and Conan as a 3-man crew.
Has Vampiro ever performed in WWE in any way?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think he did.
Never has. But if you wanna, you can't have AAA without Vampiro there.
I agree. I agree. I bet you they'll find a way, to make it make it happen.
It's gonna happen. Vampiro is gonna make some sort of.
If you're gonna do something with AAA, you're eventually gonna have to go down that road with him. I think for them,
you have to.
Jeremy Barash is the one that was in charge of, I guess, everything there backstage, pretty much, and boy, did he do a good job.
Rewind's arguing with himself in the chat.
Is he? He's arguing with himself right now. Gable versus Vikingo, match of the year. I agree, man. Woo!
It was an incredible match for sure.
Those two.
I knew nothing about Vikingo going.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah,
he is just fucking good, man. He's really good. Taz was horrible on comedy. He's very knowledgeable about professional wrestling. One of the reasons he's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's definitely not Rewind.
Taz was a jobber and isn't knowledgeable in wrestling. Oh my god, there's gonna be a cyber fight here between these two. Yeah, he was just a kid from the streets, Ran, and he came off and made a hell of a career for himself doing it down there. Pretty hard to do, being a foreigner in a completely different land, and God bless him for doing it. I would love it if Conan and Vampiro did a commentary together, like they could play up their rivalry and spark debates like JR and Heyman. That would be awesome. I'm sure they probably have done something like that before. You're more of a fan you're a huge Vampiro fan. Have you ever seen them do any commentary like that together? Much
they've done it, and they've done a program in AAA. Matter of fact, I think it was Ultimate Lucha that they did that. They had a program together, so yeah.
El Vikingo is awesome too.
He is.
Have you seen him wrestle at all before?
I've never seen him wrestle before. Never knew nothing about him until the acquisition. So
I saw him in AEW a few times, I think, and I think it was in GCW. I saw a match with him as well. This fucking guy can do anything, bro. The shit he does to put his body on the line is just insane. It's wild to watch him. And you know what the crazier part was watching this match was? Gable went toe-to-toe with him on everything in this lucha style too. I'm not saying he was doing as many flips and crazy moves as him. Gable can go with anybody too. Like,
right.
Gable's a guy, man. Like, if you're going to really relaunch this AAA brand, why are you not bringing Chad Gable down to AAA to be one of the big guys down there as a heel? Or
he's got to be fucking the Roddy Piper style heel down there, dude.
Absolutely, man.
Has to come out with fucking the bagpipes and play the fucking Mexican hat dance again. You got to do it.
Jeff Jarrett went down there and threw fucking tortillas at them in the crowd. The Mexican fans are passionate.
And the Gulf of America shit is fucking phenomenal. I'm
There's
sorry.
So much they can do with this guy.
And all you motherfuckers that are softies out there that are saying it's so racist and this and that, just take a seat back and let this beautiful storyline play out the way it's supposed to.
Rewind's throwing out the gauntlet here. He says, "You come on live, debate me and Taz, man. If you win, I'll Venmo you $1,000."
So, dude, I'm down. Rabbi, the ball's in your court, bud.
Let's do this.
Let's
get to this guy though. Iguana Man. Mr. Iguana. You didn't like this?
I could take it or leave it, dude. I don't know why it's getting the hype it is. It was all right. It reminds me of Goldust, but in a weird way. But it's like I could take it or leave it. It was weird.
It's super, dude. The stuff he can do with that stuffed fucking iguana is different. It's different. It's fun. I loved it, man.
If people like it, cool. Everybody's got their own cup of tea. It just wasn't mine. That's all.
There's they were saying that there's a lot more to him than just that. When you see him,
I hope so.
They said that he's bilingual too, so he can speak both languages, that he can do just about anything in the ring. He's a fucking fantastic performer, man. I think the sky's the limit. Like he's going to be in NXT really, really soon, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. If people like him and want to have him have a push and all that stuff, great.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not my cup of tea yet. I said the same thing about Gunther though, and Gunther's my guy.
On you.
So I'm a fair guy. I'll give him a shot.
The other one in that match that I've seen a few of his things before. I've seen like ones where he's climbed up to the top of the fucking stadium and done backflips off of it before.
Oh, he's climbed to the top of a stadium and jumped off of it?
Yes.
Aerostar has, yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Aerostar. That's the guy that I've seen.
You meant Iguana.
No. I was talking about another person in the match that I've seen do that before. Yeah. Aerostar is just amazing. Shit that guy can do.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a bad man.
He's as good as they come. And Steph Vacque in the match with Lola Vice against the other two girls, Dallas and Tormenta Chica or something like that. Chica Tormenta.
Tormenta.
Chica Tormenta, whatever the fuck the name was on it. Boy, that's Steph Fakwe, man. She can go.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I mean, she performed the whole weekend and she did it flawlessly. So I mean,
2 times in one day.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
amazing. 2 times in one day, man. You got to give her and that they were some pretty harsh matches, man. Yeah. I love her entrance and her entrance music, and I love the whole vibe that she brings, and I think it's fantastic. Yeah, I really dig her as a performer, and once again, the sky I think is the limit for her as well. It's going to be, she's going to have a hell of a nice career. Where do they go from here, though? This is what I'm interested to see where they go from here, because I don't watch wrestling on a weekly basis. Very, very.
Are they starting to pull you back in a little bit though, John? Because it seems like you're talking about it more. You're finding more time to watch it. I'm watching it every week now.
I'm squeezing in a little bit more time when people recommend things to me. So Jeremy recommended this to me, and Jeremy's always got good suggestions too. So like, I trust good opinions of people that I know like good wrestling. Like if you tell me something, I'm going to listen to it. Sure. I'm going to go check it out too. If Jeremy does, I'm going to go listen to it. If the fans of the show, for the majority of the people that put it out there, if they said, go watch something, if you haven't seen it, I would give it a shot.
What if Rabbi told you to go watch
I don't know if I would do anything that Rabbi said. I'm just not, no offense to Rabbi. He seems like a very jam up guy and everything, but I don't think I would take many of his.
Rabbi's a bitter soul. I think somebody's wronged him.
I don't know.
Somewhere.
One day we're gonna find out more about this Rabbi character. It's gonna come out. At this point, I don't know if I would trust his opinion yet on it. Now, rewind. We didn't trust his originally, and look what he turned us on to the GOAT.
Exactly.
He changed our minds. That's what
happens. I didn't like Hook, and now I have this fucking beautiful Hook picture over here that I pull out every week.
You kiss it before you go to bed every night.
I don't do that, but
Mr. Iguana, the old character style standpoint and working the crowd, to be honest, he's far from great. He's probably a Santino style. It is. People just miss good character wrestlers, so they're getting into him. However, I do think he is cheesy, but you get into the throwback character, but he's far from great and would rather have Undertaker and Goldust. Very good points as well.
Sure.
Where do you think they go with this, though, with AAA? Like, I haven't heard anything, but I want to see this on a weekly basis. This is the stuff that can kind of suck me in a little bit. A little, when I get a chance to see great wrestling like this, a lot of fun. The matches are paced perfectly. The production's great on them. The commentary's pretty good on this. I want to see this show more. What do you think they do with AAA now?
I want to see it more. I want to see them invest it. And I want to see it. I like the Worlds Collide idea. I like them going head to head with NXT, and that competition between those two shows is going to bring out great performances between the two. I think we can finally pull away from AEW versus WWE and kind of them have their own little civil war, and that's only going to bring better content for us, right? And the Lucha Libre style, I think, is finally getting what it deserves in the American market, the respect that it deserves. They need to invest all they can in it because it's going to take off like wildfire. And there's a lot of Mexican culture in America now,
Absolutely.
So Lucha Underground to me was what I thought was going to catch on in the American states and stuff like that. This now has the opportunity to do what Lucha Underground didn't do. And I hope they stay consistent with it. And I hope they feature these guys in the right way. If Vince McMahon was at the helm, it would die. But Triple H, I think he's got the stuff that can make this successful.
Triple Mania is going to be a fun one to see, Jeremy, what they do with this now that they own this product now. So it's interesting how they're going to put their spin on it. You know what I liked about what they did was that with this is from what I've read, like I said, I'm not a AAA or Lucha Libre expert in any way. I've seen what I've been able to see through the years, but from what I've understood is they took a very, very similar production feel to how a lot of the AAA or Lucha style more popular shows do it down there. The turnbuckles was noticeably different. How they did the turnbuckles in certain colors. They looked like they were bigger. They tried to give them that feel, the darkness of the arena that they were doing. It seemed like they respected a lot of the Lucha Libre style production too, and really did a good job with it. I would want to see them continue it that way too, because there's a huge market for it around here.
Sure.
Huge.
Sure.
Like the sky's the limit on what they can do, and it's going to elevate a lot of these bigger stars in AAA to be able to go off and do other things in TNA or WWE or NXT.
Or NXT.
Lots of crossovers that are going to happen with the TNA stuff that they had now. I know they've already had a lot of crossovers with TNA, but with AAA now, I mean,
dude, when I was a kid, I wanted so much more wrestling content. I didn't feel that Mondays or Thursdays was enough. And now, God, if I was a kid now, you got all the wrestling content you want. So I'm kind of jealous in that way. So yeah, man. But I do got a question for you before we get started on our topic and everything. I don't know if you've seen the video of Shane McMahon. He kind of got interviewed on the street by somebody. And did you see that he noticed that Vince McMahon might entertain buying the WWE back?
Yeah, but it's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
No. If Vince is ever going to do anything again, the only way
he's already pulled a trademark for an entertainment company. We don't know what it's going to be.
He has, and he sold a shit ton he sold 250,000 of his stocks last week as well. So, or maybe it was even more than that.
250 million.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, there it is. 250 million of it that he sold. So the only way he's coming back is if he's got a younger person like a Shane with him. But even Shane's not that young anymore.
Right.
You know, even Shane's not that young anymore. He's in his 50s. I did see the interview from TMZ, and you could see from it that he was definitely not impressed with Tony Khan.
Right. No,
not that he disliked him in any way. So
no, I think he wanted to put his feelers out there, see what they had down there, and he realized that it's a sinking ship already. So
it's a good point, Paul. If you love wrestling content, you're going to get plenty of it as a wrestling fan now. So they are very lucky. And good evening to you as well, Paul. Back in the day when Ray was champion, SmackDown was the #1 rated show in Hispanic houses. The market is still there.
Eddie Guerrero, man, when Eddie Guerrero was champ, same thing. You know,
they could do a ton with what they got going on right now.
For sure.
Just an absolute ton. I mean,
you know, it'd be funny is if they put JBL as a fucking commentator.
Well, JBL's been going everywhere over the last, 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And he's
What's up with that, man? What do you think the end goal is for him? With
I have no idea.
Like midlife crisis, or what is it?
He's been playing this for a while now, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's been playing this through and through for a while. I love that he goes everywhere. First off, I just got to say this, and I've said it a million times probably in the past, but I'll just say it again every time I talk about him. JBL is one of my all-time favorites. I absolutely fucking love JBL. Yeah. Like he's a surly Texas prick, and he knows it, but he's not a bad guy in any way. He's just a little over the top, maybe was a little immature a few times, but I love his podcast. He took over Something to Wrestle for Bruce Pritchard. He's been doing it for him for a long time now. And it actually makes the show bearable. As a heel, as we're going to get into later, JBL in Mexico works. It just does. Sure. I mean, the nuclear heat he got during that feud with Eddie Guerrero back in the day was just the best.
Yep.
JBL's fucking
true. I thought he was going to buy TNA for a little while myself.
I know he's rich, but I don't think he's that rich, bro.
To buy TNA?
Yeah, I don't think he's that rich. I think he probably could swing it, but I don't think he's that rich to own a promotion.
Investors and stuff like that for sure.
Yeah, you can, but I don't know if he would want to do that at this juncture in his life either.
If Vince can, anyways.
What's that?
Isn't he a fucking multi-millionaire?
JBL?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would, if I was to take a guess, if you looked up his net worth, and you can see I'm not looking now, I would just say I bet you his net worth is about, I would guess, I'd say 7 million.
It's 10 million.
Okay. There you go. Pretty close.
Yeah. He made it mostly in the stock market too. It wasn't even in his wrestling.
Yeah, he's a smart dude. Yeah. He's a smart dude. I'm interested to see what the end goal is with him on all these different shows that he shows up on and everything. I think it's great, man. Yeah. JBL with the Back to the Future 3 theme song. When are they going to be the Saudi World Order? Let's hope never.
Lawrence. No.
Yeah, Connor was going to buy OnlyFans, I heard. Did you hear that too?
Yeah, Connor needs it's really hard to be a Connor fan nowadays, dude. Like, and I'm not anymore. I mean, like I'll show you. The stuff is gone, man. After the rape stuff and shit like that, I just can't.
Adios to him, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'll still have my Ireland flag till I die, but.
Lawrence, in regards to OVW actually just got sold, I think, like a week or two ago to a larger, I think it was a marketing company, maybe. Don't quote me on it, but I think it was like a marketing company. And OVW is now owned by different owners now. So they sold it out. They're on every week, year round too, which is an interesting thing. OVW is a promotion that's, of course, independent now, and it just doesn't get talked about enough. They have a lot of great stars that have come through there when it was developmental, and then where it's at now, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
I'd hit up JBL any day. He's a wrestling god, Lawrence. He'll tell you everything. Google
Okay,
says his net worth is 20 million. Well, either way, he's got about 10 more million than all of us, and maybe 20 million. Who knows?
Absolutely.
I don't know if he's worth 20 million, but I could see 10 million for JBL.
For sure.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go on to the main event of the show. We're going to talk the top heels. Who's in your list of top heels? We'll let a few people come on at the end, and if you want to tell us your list of a few top heels, we'll keep it a little shorter. Just give us some of your, favorites and why when we get in there. If you want to come on the stream, I'll put the link up later. If you don't, no problem. You can type your answers in when we get to it, when we come back from the break. But we're going to be talking the top heels. So let's say about 5 to 10. We'll come back. We'll have a little bathroom break, and we'll see you guys in about 5 to 10. All right?
Sure.
All right, we are back in action, ready to go, recharged, refreshed, all that good stuff. We're going to be talking now top heels, all time greatest in professional wrestling. And at the end, we'll open it up to a few people. And you can tell us your top picks for the greatest heels of all time. Now, Richie, I want you to save your number one for the end, and the rest of them don't have to be in any particular order if you want, but just save your number one for the end, and everybody else save your number ones for the end. But give me a name that you would rank as your in your probably your top five, as one of the all time greatest heels. Who do you got?
Number 5, I got to go with Bret Hart for sure. When he was the anti-American Canadian guy, pro-Canadian, anti-American. That was probably one of the best heel runs I've ever seen prior to the start of the Attitude Era, and that's what kicked it off. Really, I mean, when the Montreal Screwjob and all that happened, it was Bret Hart could get nuclear heat, dude. Like when he would piss off the American crowds like that, it was crazy. But he'd go over to Canada and then he'd be the face. So I don't know if you can really count that or whatever, but I remember hating him back then, and I loved him before that. So it was kind of like he turned on us in a way. So
I think that was one of the coolest parts about his heel character and how good it was then. He was just loathed in the United States at that point in time. And then he would go to Canada and be just the biggest baby face with the crowd, of course, because he's their Canadian hero. I thought it was what made that his heel run even better, was how he was
for sure. Because he was the baby face for so long,
Yep.
So.
All right, now I got to go with for mine, one of the ones at the end. I'm not the biggest fan of this guy as a person or as a wrestler. He's not one of my all-time favorites, but as a heel, I cannot deny what he did in the wrestling business for so many years. He flip-flopped a lot, for at different points of his career from babyface to heel, but I think the majority of his career was as a heel, and I think it's what it's what people knew him best for. And he ran the wrestling business along with Hulk Hogan at one point, and it's none other than Ric Flair. So I got to go with Ric Flair for one of my ones at the end. You cannot deny this guy was one of the greatest heels of all time. The shit he did with the Horsemen and the feuds that they had and all the championship matches he had with people all across the world through the years. Right. Ric Flair was the GOAT of heels at that point in time. Hulk Hogan was the biggest babyface to me. Ric Flair was the biggest heel at that point in time to me. What do you think?
Well, I don't agree with Rabbi Moses. I don't think Ric Flair is even close to being the GOAT of the heels. Ric Flair had a great run as a heel. He could definitely carry that side of it. There was some time he did a shitty job being a face, in my opinion. So, when he was the manager in Evolution and stuff like that, I thought he did a really good job. And I could agree with you, man. He made a good heel. I would say, top 5 though. That's hard to put him in there for me.
All right,
but I can respect your opinion.
Yeah, like I said, not the biggest fan of him as a wrestler, but as a heel, man, there was few that did it as well as the Nature Boy for all those years. Yeah. And his feuds all across the world for years upon end just showed what Ric Flair could do. He's not my GOAT of heels, but he had a hell of a run for sure. So I put the link up, Loraz, and anybody else, if you want to come on at the end of the show, that's the link when we get ready to get to that point. So definitely, use that at the end of the show. But who do you got for one of yours for another?
My number 4, definitely turning heel, was his second coming in the wrestling industry. And a lot of people have this guy. I know he's your GOAT of all time. Hollywood Hogan, man. One of the greatest storylines ever told. I know it was stolen from New Japan and stuff like that, but this really was the second coming of Hulk Hogan. He was on his way out. People were stale of him being a babyface, that purebred American hero. People were done with it, man, and they were turning on him in a lot of ways. And his merchandise, he was still moving pretty heavily. So when they took that shot and made him a heel, it was a big gamble, and it really paid off for him in the long run. A lot of people say that the Hollywood Hogan gimmick surpassed the red and yellow in a lot of ways. So
I think it saved his career at that point, to be honest with you.
Definitely did. No doubt about it.
They didn't want him as a baby face. He's my all-time favorite, wrestler of all time. For anybody that's watched the show for years, nobody wanted him as a baby face anymore. He was getting booed out of the building, Sure. But he still thought there was marketability in him as a baby face. But he was somebody that never was sold on, going to the dark side and becoming a heel.
Right.
A lot of people thought when he did it originally that he was going to suck at it because he was just the monster babyface, the biggest babyface in wrestling for all those years. They didn't think he could do it. He sure proved him wrong, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
He sure proved him wrong and then some, and you know, rejuvenated his career, you know, and turned it into something even bigger, and made tens of millions of dollars for doing it as well. And
absolutely,
Hollywood Hogan was up on my list. Wasn't my number one, but he was right up there for sure. Definitely in my top 5. I'll go with another one for you, and he was close to being my number one, but my number one, to me, nobody can touch this person as a heel, but I was kind of thinking about it with this one a little bit because I just love him.
I already know who it is. I can feel it.
He's a guilty pleasure of mine all day long in wrestling.
I can already tell who this is going to be.
He's one of the only people that's never, you know, that was in wrestling for a long period of time that was never a babyface either. You know, never played that typical babyface role. He should have had the world title, 1,000,000%. Yep. It's none other than the Ravishing Rick Rude.
I knew you were going to say it. I've known you too long.
Yeah, 100%. This guy could get fucking heat so good when he would go into a crowd. It just started right from the start with this guy coming out looking like $1,000,000, pulling some chick from the audience, giving her a kiss, making her take his robe off. Then he's wearing some offensive thing on his tights. If it's against his big, you know, adversary at the time, he's putting a picture of them on his tights, or Jake Roberts' his wife when they did it. Ravishing Rick Rude could get fucking heat, bro.
Yeah, he could.
His WCW run, let me tell you, he had a amazing run in WWF all those years. If you want to see the best run of Rick Rude's career, to be honest with you, go watch him in WCW in about 92 when he went over there. I think it was 92.
For sure.
Shit he was doing over there, Rick Rude was the best, and he was the best heel in the business at that time, in my opinion. His feud with Sting alone was awesome, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember that time frame with him in WCW?
I do.
Yeah. God, his promos were the best. Rick Rude, he's a once in a lifetime.
He should have been a champion. He's one of those that was on our top 10 for wrestlers who never made championship or made heavyweight championship. And when you look back at his career and stuff, you wonder why they never put the strap on him.
Yeah. He's probably maybe number 2 or 3 on my list of people, you know, if I think about it now. He's number 2 or 3 on my list of that ones who never wore the world championship that should have, you know, along with the Scott Halls and everybody. Rude was just another stratosphere of just being over with people. And I really can't understand why they didn't jump the gun at one point with him in WWF and maybe took the belt off Hogan for a period of time, because Rude was a believable heel too. And you thought he could win anytime. So you thought he could win at any given time. So Ravishing Rick Rude, right up on my list for that reason. What do you got for your next one?
This guy, man, whenever he was about to turn babyface, he always had his heel turn moments, like in WCW when he was supposed to join the Four Horsemen. You know, you thought he was going to be a horseman through and through, and he turned on him, man. And he was going to take not my spot, not your spot, not the dog spot. It's none other than Mr. Perfect, man. Mr. Perfect was a great fucking heel. He's got to be my number 3 guy, dude. He's not the greatest of all time, but definitely perfect for sure.
God, man. Kurt Hennig, another once in a lifetime talent, bro.
Dude,
he's the case of what if to me often. What if he didn't get hurt as bad as he did at that period of time?
Or messed up on drugs.
Yeah. What could have been, right?
Yeah, could have been great. I mean, when he did that rap his crap stuff, dude, it was phenomenal. He didn't even have to wrestle and he was over, you know?
It was some of the best work of his career was the rap his crap with the West Texas Rednecks.
It's still popular.
Oh, it's fucking great still, man.
Yeah.
Like, people look at that, era of him and they think he was like a gag, joke type of person. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to be anything more than what he was, and that was over.
That's right.
And he knew how to get the crowd, even with something that should probably have failed. He knew how to get the crowd into it, 100%.
For sure.
And that he's another case, just the what ifs, The guy that should have held the title too was definitely Mr. Perfect. So
absolutely.
All right, this one would be not my number 1. So I'll say for me, this one would be my number 1. And as hard as it is to overlook the Rick Rudes and the Hollywood Hogans and the Perfects and everybody, this man was not a wrestler by trade in any way. He was never in the ring. He well, he was in the ring a few times, but it wasn't his, area of expertise, so to speak. But he was the creator of it all, and he single-handedly, in my opinion, saved the WWF with this character, this dastardly heel character that he ran with when nobody thought he would ever run with being some type of performer on the show other than being a commentator. And it's none other than Vince McMahon. Right. I mean, the Mr. McMahon character as a whole, how can you beat this guy as a heel? He's the asshole that you just want to kick the shit out of. He's the boss that somebody's had at some point that they just want to kick the shit out of him. He's rich, he's powerful, he's a prick. He wants everything to be a certain way. He played right into this character, and it might not have been too far off from who he was as a person too. So Mr. McMahon is my number one.
I was going to say he played the role so well that people believe it, and whenever they read text messages in his court cases, they read it in his Vince
voice.
Terrible voice, that he used on TV. Vince McMahon, what can you say about him? He was going to be my number one, but I didn't want to put him, and stuff like that. But yeah, Vince McMahon, dude, he's printed money because of his character. I mean, people say that the NWO is the greatest story ever told. People say that, Kane versus The Undertaker is the longest story ever told. The best story ever told was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon.
Gotcha. I agree.
And it Austin would have never happened as big as it was if it weren't for Vince McMahon.
Not even close.
Not even close.
WWE might not have survived that era of just the abyss that they were in of financial problems and floundering ratings and everything that was going on. They probably wouldn't have survived as a whole and became what they became right now. They wouldn't have got out of that abyss of just failure at that point in time if it wasn't for the Mr. McMahon character and what he did with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and all those guys.
Exactly.
I mean, the man was amazing in this role. Vince McMahon,
sure.
What a legend in that capacity. What about you? Give us your number one.
This one was hard, man. This one was really hard because I was gonna say Vince McMahon, but I just couldn't. This was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and when he was my favorite, he was a babyface. But his best stuff and most legendary stuff was when he was a heel. And I mentioned one of the things earlier, the Mexican hat dance with the bagpipes. How could you not pick the Hot Rod as your number one fucking heel of all time? That guy, dude, you want to talk about drawing heat from crowd. This guy would walk in and almost get stabbed by the time he would leave. That's how bad he would piss people off. I mean, and he knew how to offend people, and he knew how to enrage people with their emotions and stuff like that with whatever current events were going on. When he went against Goldust with the controversial O.J. Simpson moment that they used.
The Bad News Brown match.
Oh my
painted himself half
black. I mean,
it's an outlawed figure now.
Nothing was off the wall too far for Roddy Piper. And God, I miss him. If there's one person that I miss in wrestling the most, it's got to be Roddy Piper, man.
He was fucking fantastic, bro.
I wish his son made it bigger than he did and was the second coming of him. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
It's a shame Ronda Rousey used his fucking gimmick.
And just murdered it.
Disgusting. Disgusting. His jacket was one of the coolest things I ever saw, and she ruined it.
Piper was in my top 10 for sure. He was in my top 10 for sure. It was hard to get him in the top 5 for me, but he was definitely in the top 10 for me. Love fucking Roddy Piper. I'll give an honorable mention. The only reason I didn't throw this guy into the top 5 yet is because, he's just really taken off on the scene the last few years. He's like a 22-year veteran of the ring and everything, but people just don't give this man the credit they deserve. And I think he might go down as one of the greatest heels of all time when it's all said and done. He's been going in this business for 2 decades now, and it's none other than Dom Mysterio. This guy has been fighting adversity since he's a little kid.
He'll be our future one. He'll be the future number one on all lists.
Yeah, 100%. They overlook
his best life.
This man's been in a WWE ring since he's 6 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
He's been fighting through this. And
what were you doing when you were sick?
You were sucking your fucking thumb, pissing your pants in kindergarten.
Blues with fucking Steve.
Dominic was making money. He was making cheddar. He was making cheese for everybody.
Yeah. That bleach hair that he rocked, even as a kid, he had great taste.
The mustache alone gives him legendary status. Dom Mysterio is going to go down as probably one of the greatest heels of all time when it's all said and done, wouldn't you think?
Oh, for sure, man. And if you don't mind, I've got 2 honorable mentions myself.
All right,
you got to throw Chris Jericho in there.
Good pick.
One of the greatest heels of all time. He could make you fucking hate his guts. He can make you love him. You know. The other honorable mention that I have is fucking. Fucking Bill Goldberg for ending Bret Hart's fucking career.
Fucking Bill Goldberg's super kick is on your honorable mention list.
Yep.
Oh fuck, that's a good one. I love it. Good picks on that one.
Yep.
Jake Roberts was a great heel, Rabbi. He was great at everything he did.
How did we not mention him?
All right, so I got a few people in the back. So what I'm going to do for everybody coming on, just in the interest of time, so I'll get to everybody that's in there right now. I'm going to get to you. So just piece by piece, just wait it out on me here. So just in the interest of time, I ask that you give me your number 1 pick for your greatest heel of all time, and give me a quick explanation why, because I want to see where you're coming from with it and why you love that person, and then I'll be able to get to the next couple of people. So I'm just going to go and grab people one by one. And I'm going to start first tonight. He's our birthday boy. He's turning 21 years old today. He's having his first beer of his life. He's never had one ever, you know.
Bullshit. He's Australian. That's a damn lie.
This man is a gentleman.
With beer in their fucking formula, dude.
He's a gentleman, damn it. He hasn't been doing anything wrong. He's got a fucking beer in his hand
right
now.
There's nothing wrong with having a beer.
He's showing me in the backstage. He's having a cold one right now.
There you go.
To the birthday boy, Blackjack. What's going on? You're number 1 tonight.
Blackjack. There it
is.
Look
at him. He's got a little Italian beer, a little Peroni.
Okay, there you go, Peroni.
Yeah, my mum was adopted, but I'm actually half caste Italian, believe it or not.
All right,
nice.
Peroni's a good beer. It's got a little bit of a dry taste to it, but it's really good.
There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Thai beers and all that. I like the Singhai Thai beer.
Sing's a good one if you're looking for a good Thai beer. You ever drink Sing?
Yeah, that's the one. It's really good. I actually drank the Thai bar out of it one day at Brisbane because they're not used to people.
I knew that wasn't your fucking first beer. No way.
Come on, this is Laz. He's a gentleman, Rich. All right, he doesn't do anything.
You drink with your pinky up. Don't be like John. Don't be like John Wangland and sip your beer. Okay?
This fucking guy again. Here he goes. We'll have our rematch one day soon. All right, we'll have our rematch. Don't you worry. Yeah. Well, birthday boy, give us your number 1 pick tonight for your top heel of all time and why.
Oh, well, to me, it's pretty obvious. I didn't pick Rowdy Piper because he's too likable, even though he can play a good heel. And I give him credit. But this one, I think, is the biggest heel of all time in wrestling. And it's both character-wise. Yeah, big. It's both character-wise and real life, and that's Vince McMahon.
Okay.
Reason why? Because he bought out all the territories, and he's like the big dictator of pro wrestling, and his character-wise.
Yeah.
And he's in real life. I'm Mr. Man. And he had like the corporation behind him, and then Stone Cold become the biggest face by standing up to the powers that be.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have survived, Laza, WWE, WWF at the time if it wasn't for the Vince McMahon character? You think they would have been able to survive to where they're at now? I think we lost you, Laza. I think we're having a little internet connections. All right.
It's hard to say. I think it helped them with like the format, but so.
All right, Laza, you're having connection issues, so I'm gonna cut you, Laza, just because you're having connection issues and we can't hear you. So I'm just gonna cut you on that one, buddy. I'm sorry. So I hope you have a happy birthday, though. We'll see you next week. Laza. Yeah, happy birthday, bro.
Thanks for always showing up too, bud.
Oh man, you're awesome, brother. Sorry, your connection was cutting in and out there, so we just couldn't hear you. So we'll gladly listen more next week. And happy birthday again. All right, I'm gonna go to our next caller. It's gonna be Joey. What's going on, Mr. Joey?
What's up, Joey?
Are you there,
What's
buddy?
up, fellas?
Man,
how's it going, bud?
Oh, nothing. Just on the road, so that's why.
Sounds like you're driving, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to Ohio. So.
Oh, right on. Drive safe, buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you a driver, Joey?
Yeah, I'm a driver. I'm driving. Yeah. So
beautiful, man. Who's your pick? Number one all-time greatest heel, Joey. Who's your pick, man?
Andy Kaufman.
Wow, that's
nice.
a good one. Andy
Yes.
Kaufman.
He picked on people that were smaller than him. He picked on women. No one had ever done it before. I mean, the guy was way ahead of his time. He brought wrestling to the mainstream before Vince did with the whole David Letterman incident. I mean,
Yeah, he did.
I mean, the guy was great. I mean, Andy Kaufman. So, I mean, there's not much. He had people in Memphis want to kill him. So.
Yeah, his program with Jerry Lawler, I don't think people understand how epic that was, you know, and at a time when social media and stuff wasn't around, this got around really quickly. So
yeah,
that was a good time in wrestling for sure.
Yeah, it was, and his tirade on the Letterman show was gold. So
yeah, it was.
So
for
yeah,
sure. That's a good pick there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Andy Kaufman. So.
I like that pick, Joey. That's a real good one. Unique one, different one, but one I dig a lot too, because like you mentioned, Andy Kaufman was just such a dynamic fucking person, you know, and like you said, there was no internet back then. So Andy Kaufman always found a way to draw people's interest into him and into his career and whatever he was doing. And it's a good pick, man. If anybody doesn't know about the Jerry Lawler feud with him, I would suggest going and looking it up on YouTube. Really interesting in the backstories. They made it into a movie, for Christ's sakes, you know, Man on the Moon with everything.
With Jim Carrey.
Yeah, with Jim Carrey. So
and I will say one more thing. Bret Hart was not a heel. He inspired that lady to go back to school for computer graphic design.
What a guy.
That's awesome.
Joey, good picks, man. Thanks for coming on tonight. It's always great to hear from you. Drive safe and stay blessed, my friend, okay?
All right. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you next week, buddy.
Okay. All right.
All right. Last two in. Joey had a good pick there, man.
Yeah, he did. Andy Kaufman. You got to mention Jerry Lawler, too. Jerry Lawler was always a good heel.
Great heel, man. Great heel. All right. I'm almost to everybody tonight. Next one's going to be the Cult of Personality, Jeremy. Jeremy, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
What's going on, fellas?
Good to hear from you, my friend. So who's your number one pick? All-time greatest heel. This is your topic tonight. Who's your number one?
Well, I had to dwindle it down because I actually had a really good top five.
Okay.
But for me, I think he's very underrated. He's still active. I'm going with Randy Orton.
Oh, good pick.
Randy Orton's great.
This guy made his legacy on being a legend killer. He punted Mae Young, spit in Holly Race's face, spit in Mick Foley's face. He did not care. He disrespected everybody.
For sure.
Pick.
Yeah, the legend killer, man. How could you not mention him? Top five. He's carried the WWE in that role for a really long time. So that's a really good pick.
And surprisingly too, I had Paul Heyman in my top five.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
CM Punk would be another good honorable mention for sure.
Yeah. Piper is my number two.
That's a good one.
But,
good pick. Good pick there. Anybody else that's important to you that you like?
Oh yeah. As a combo, Tully and Arn was my number five. Because Arn, he would tell you he was going to do something to you, and he would do it.
Good.
And Tully was just that arrogant prick that everyone just wanted to slap in the face.
Jeremy, are you surprised that John Wangland did not pick Nadia Neidhart for his number one?
I'm very surprised.
For just fucking ending and ruining wrestling for him?
You have to be fucking relevant for me to choose her for that role. She is.
I think that's why you don't watch wrestling religiously anymore.
She's a heel alone for
That's why you don't make chicken wings on Monday nights anymore.
No, it's fucking Natty Neidhart.
Neidhart.
She doesn't get acknowledged in my list. All right, I cover enough ground on that no talent fucking ass clown enough. You know,
she's a heel just for holding Tyson Kidd hostage.
Dude,
tell you
for real.
I mean,
he needs to blink twice to let us know that he's in trouble.
Seriously, I've called her out enough times now. She's not answering the challenge at all. I've offered her a forum right here. You know, she's chicken shit trying to big time people. She wants no part of this fucking smoke.
Yeah.
As another honorable mention too, Samoa Joe is a real good heel too.
Absolutely.
He has that killer instinct in that machine, like a Kurt Angle.
Yep,
for sure.
He just bulldozed through people, right?
Absolutely.
Good picks, Jeremy. Well,
Love it.
always great chatting with you, my friend, and we'll catch you in a little bit, okay?
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night.
You too, buddy. Boy, everybody's having really good picks so far tonight.
Dude, a couple ones I didn't even think of to mention.
Couple
Randy
surprises
Orton was
right
a
here.
fucking good one, man.
Lawrence says, my apologies for connection issues. No problem, Lawrence. Having
It's the garbage truck fucking rewinds over there.
Noise. Rewind is there. His top 5, he's got Mr. McMahon, Bobby Heenan, great choice. He was in my honorable mention. Triple H, good pick.
Great one.
Flair and The Rock. All right. Yeah. Well, you mentioned Rewind, and you said, something about him right now. Well, say his name, and he appears.
Survive by lectures.
He's here. Look at the shirt. Is that a Barry Horowitz shirt?
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Oh, wow.
You just went up in my book. You do it every week.
Yeah, it was at Laz's. He needs his birthday spanking, guys.
It looks like you gave it to him with that connection, man. Jesus Christ.
Where did you get a Barry Horowitz shirt? Is it on Pro Wrestling Tees?
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
Future Hall of Famer, guys. Future Hall of Famer.
Taz is your goat, and you have a Barry Horowitz fucking shirt.
Dude,
Jesus Christ.
He did.
Awesome.
He went over. He put everyone over, dude. How he's not on the Hall of Fame? Come on.
Oh my God. I'd say the same about hardworking Bobby Walker too, bud.
Natty has a restraining order against me. The fuck she does, Rabbi.
Is he gonna come on here and debate me? Is that guy gonna come on and debate me? Where are you, Rabbi?
I don't know, man.
Rabbi doesn't. He's afraid.
Rabbi needs to type something with fucking Rewind on here, so I believe it's not.
He just did.
Okay.
You see my shitty, horrible, misspelled fucking shit. You think that's me over there?
I'm starting to think that somebody else that hasn't been here in a minute is Rabbi.
Could be. I
think it's so.
Oh, he's going back to the flogging here on your Rewind.
I'll flog him.
I'll flog him.
He didn't hesitate on that shit, man. I'm gonna flog this motherfucker.
He has it coming.
That guy needs to come on the camera.
I think Lorenzo wants those birthday spankings from your Rewind.
Nice. How old is he turning again?
39.
Rabbi's actually putting you over, man.
Look at that.
Of course he is.
That is a tremendous fucking shirt.
It is,
it's probably the only Barry Horowitz shirt that has ever sold.
Yeah, right.
But
the
it's right there.
Wrestling tee.
It's a 1 out of 1.
Rad Turtles Wrestling's pretty close.
Rewind. He did a cameo on us years ago for the show. One of the listeners got a cameo of Barry Horowitz cutting a promo on us. I'll send it to you later. It's really fucking funny, actually.
I think you did. I think we had this conversation. You sent to me before.
Okay, if I did, it's really fucking funny, man.
Like, hilarious.
Barry Horowitz is a funny dude, man. I got to give him that. But he's the type of guy that just totally doesn't realize that nobody likes him in the back. That they're picking, they're picking on him because they don't like him, not because he's just the subject of the ridicule for the day.
Right.
Good shirt though, Rewind. That's just tremendous right there. So what do you got for your number one heel of all time, Rewind?
I got Goldust, like 97 Goldust. Yeah.
Wow.
You got some.
That's your number one, huh?
I had Lawler on it too. He was my number 3. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I had Cornette on it. I had Hogan, and then what was my other one? Hogan, Cornette. I remember what my number 2. Oh, Jim Cornette, Hogan, Goldust. It doesn't matter. I had a chalkboard. Fuck it.
No chalkboard for them.
Oh,
what about Goldust draws you in there to put him up at that high?
He's like a father figure for me in the early 90s. If you can't tell, you know.
He's a father figure.
He taught them all about flogging people to the bushes.
Rubbing people down, you know.
Man.
Just, you know, he got heat, dude. And going back and watching it, it's pretty good shit still. It still holds up. Like, stuff with him and McFoley, when McFoley's or Mankind calling him mommy in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know.
Or the artist formerly known as Goldust, or when he was going against Val Venus. That stuff was cool too.
One of my favorite Goldust moments of all time was one that almost got him killed for doing it and just really pissed this dude off. was when he kissed Ahmed Johnson.
Oh,
and
dude.
that
And I've
whole
talked to
angle.
Tony about that, man. Tony was pissed. I've actually got to
Yeah,
talk
he
to
didn't
Ahmed
like that.
Johnson. He said he didn't know it was going to happen either. It totally came off guard. I said, "Was that like a shoot? Were you really pissed off?" He said, "I was going to kill him. I was going to beat the shit out of him on live TV."
You could see how
Crazy.
mad he was at it. He was pissed.
It was a good time back then, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
That was
good was
ground
it though that he did when he did it though? How over the top and crazy
That was
was
not
it?
scripted at all.
Yeah.
Tony Norris said that he did not know that was going to fucking happen.
Savio Vega when he's grabbing his junk in the middle of the ring.
Yep.
Piper stripping his clothes off. He has lingerie on underneath it. Like,
You've seen the Hollywood brawl that they had in that cinematic
When-
match?
yeah. And
That was a
Piper
good
goes to the
one.
ring and
When they
stripping.
had the O.J. Simpson scene. That was awesome.
Yeah. Did you know the truth is that they originally wanted to get OJ for that match? Do you know that?
Yeah, they
right?
did. They
Yeah.
did.
But they just didn't figure it'd be a good move to do at the time. And yeah,
It was a
well,
little too hardcore. Yeah.
you think?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's the most publicized news event of all time was the OJ Simpson shit, man. And
Yep.
I mean, imagine the ratings pop they would have got for those pay-per-view buys if they would have brought OJ in. What was it? They made the special referee of it or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Can you imagine if Al Snow would have been there at the time? And
Oh,
how distasteful
geez.
that would have been? Sorry.
God, Gold Dust, man, that's a good pick. He really, really, really was an interesting heel character for many years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. It was.
He's another guy who never got the strap either. He should have got the heavyweight belt. I think. He's another guy, yeah.
And as far as a guy that can go in the ring, he's been used so many times for people's wrestling comebacks and stuff like that by all the legends, Undertaker, all of them. When they get injured, they usually bring in Gold Dust to kind of warm them back up. So
Very
That's
underrated.
crazy.
Sort of like Taz. Very underrated.
Yeah.
The Gigolo hasn't made an appearance lately on the show. It's been a long time since the Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey's come on. It'll have to be pretty soon. I'm thinking, Jeremy. I really like that pick though. Goldberg and Horowitz as the Jewish connection.
Good Lord.
Lawrence is a fan of Barry Horowitz, Mr. Technical. He likes him.
Huh.
Rewind, are you a fan of the Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey? Do you know him?
I don't know who that is, to be honest.
Oh, I'll have to send you some stuff on the Gigolo, buddy.
Okay.
The Gigolo does the dude. All right, hold on. Jeremy, you ask and you shall receive. You're going to get the Gigolo
boy.
here, and Rewind's never seen him. Hold on.
He's
They
a
have a
wrestler?
custom Titantron for him.
It's a treat.
Bro, this guy is a fucking pimp. I don't know how this guy ever got on television. Let me find the fan one that they make for him. And he was paired up with there we go. And he was paired up with fucking Tom Pritchard, the guy that
God.
has a school with Kane now. What were they called? The Heavenly Bodies, wasn't it?
The Heavenly Bodies, yeah.
All right, Gigolo. Here we go.
Yep.
All right, hold on, Rewind. I'm going to pop this up for you. You got it. You're going to be very, very impressed by the Gigolo. He might become one of your new favorites, Rewind.
Oh, Jesus.
I have a very unique takes in wrestling.
Yeah,
so-
we couldn't tell.
Just a little bit. All right, here's the Gigolo.
Oh, my God.
Okay, yeah, I've seen this before. Yeah, okay.
He's just getting all wet in the pants for
Dude,
the
that's
Gigolo.
Wangland if he was a wrestler, man.
I don't have dance moves like the Gigolo.
That dude looks like if you're in high school, you give him $20 for like a 6-pack of beer and comes out with no change in a 5-pack. That's the kind of guy he looks like.
I don't know if that lady was fainting because she saw the Gigolo or if she was having a drug overdose, but good Lord.
Maybe both.
Fuck. She got flogged to death by his moves.
Oh, God. Rewind. Good picks as always, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
You got it, buddy. We'll see you next
Gotta
week,
have you
okay?
on soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah,
You
we'll
too,
see you
bud.
soon. Everybody had some great picks tonight. Some great choices,
They were
don't you
great
think?
picks, man. I was impressed. Yeah, a lot of them came out of the woodwork. Like Randy Orton was one that I thought of and then I forgot I was going to say it tonight, and so I'm glad he got mentioned for sure. And Triple H, who could forget Triple H's heel roles? Like, remember when he got bit in the face by a snake when Austin came back and stuff like that. Like he had some good moments as a heel.
Oh,
Because Triple
absolutely.
H, he was the head of DX when it was the most popular and stuff, and like he was kind of lost in the shuffle. So that whole, when he turned into the game and the Cerebral Assassin, it changed things for him, man. He became one of the biggest heels ever.
The corporation stuff that he did, the corporate authority was a real. I thought the corporate authority, that's what they were called, right? The corporate authority or something like that.
I think it was just the corporation.
No, it was the authority they called themselves. Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the
authority.
You're talking about later on.
Later on, yeah.
Yeah.
They had a good run too doing that.
They did.
They had a really good run doing that.
Really cool WrestleMania entrance with him and Stephanie with that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like Joey's pick actually with Andy Kaufman on what he did. I thought that was an interesting pick. Andy
Kaufman's a special one for sure.
Goldust was a great one as well.
Goldust was a good one. I had a hard time not liking Goldust though. I never saw him as a heel, unfortunately, but a lot of people did. So
everybody tried to rip off the Gigolo rants.
I'm surprised X-Pac didn't get mentioned, man.
But see, there's a difference between being a heel and just being fucking hated by people. And people fucking hated X-Pac for.
I loved X-Pac when he was DX and he first came over from WCW.
And then it got all stale real fast, and he became just awful on camera, and everybody hated him. And that's where they got the expression X-Pac heat, because
X-Pac heat,
the fans just buried everything that
very
he did.
Very talented wrestler.
Oh, absolutely.
Give him no doubt about
it.
Very talented wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
For his size and everything like that, that guy could fucking go.
So what about next week? Anything that interests you for a topic for next week?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot, man.
Or do you want to think it through the week?
Yeah, let's think it through. Let's maybe I would like a topic show of like who maybe the biggest misses in the WWE Hall of Fame right now.
Okay.
And people who shouldn't be in that are in. That one could be really fun and get really heated really fast.
I do like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's rock that one out. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a fun one.
We can have a lot of discussion on that one because there's a lot of people that have differing opinions for certain people.
We could go Vince McMahon. We could go Benoit. There's tons of ways you could go with that one. So.
All right. I like that. It's a good topical show for next week. Yeah. Jeremy says he likes that topic too. Good pick. Let's do it. Let's roll with it next week. So we'll roll with that next week, guys. All right, everybody. Well, it is late here in New York. It is 12:20 a.m. and I got to get to bed because I got work in the morning. We always appreciate having you guys out. But Richie, closing thoughts, my friend.
Love y'all, man. Thank you. This is a night that I look forward to every week. I get to come and spend time with my wrestling family. And I appreciate you guys showing up each and every week. We got great content down the pipe for you. Maybe some more shows, different types of styles. We're going to do some booking competitions again, some giveaways. But I hope you guys are enjoying the content and enjoying the ride with us. And we'll see you down the road, man.
Absolutely, guys. Come back next week. We're here every week. If you're a first-time watcher or you're watching this later on, you want to come out and join us when we do it live. We usually start around 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. Every Wednesday night is when we're typically here around 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, and alter it for whatever time zone that you might be in. So we're here every single week doing it. And we got lots of great stuff coming up throughout the coming months and throughout the rest of the year. And as Richie said, maybe we do a little bit of live streaming for some of these shows here in the future too. And maybe go down that route and start sneaking in, an extra show here and there for you guys. Because sometimes I feel once isn't enough in a week, man. But
Rabbi's just bringing some heat, man. We gotta unmask the Rabbi at some point.
We'll figure it out.
You gotta have the manhood that Rewind had when he came on, Rabbi. So
he came on like a man. Rabbi's been around for a while now. Rewind came on like the second or the third week.
You gotta come on the show, man. You gotta
step it up a little bit.
Yeah,
gotta step it up. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your week. Be safe. Be well. We'll see you on the next episode of Wrestling with Reality.